So more Murakami, the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle. Now listen, like in my previous video, Norwegian Wood is pretty good. The rest of his work, from what I've read, is pretty, I wouldn't say subpar, but it is just questionable. And the Wind-Up Bird Chronicle is not exempt from this. This is a questionable book in terms of the writing. It's like, what is this? Again, I ask the question: why is this guy so famous? Why do people obsess over this guy so much? I don't get it. I don't get it. All right. Sometimes he speaks to me. He speaks to the soul sometimes, but most times he's just, where are you going with this, bro? What's going on here? This guy that, I don't know, might have powers I don't understand. Again, this supernatural nonsense that doesn't go anywhere. Uh, he meets this woman that just makes him dress differently because, of course, he dresses like trash. And listen, if you're gonna let somebody else decide what you're gonna wear just because that person has wealth and influence, I mean, you're a beta cuck. I don't know what to say. Just be yourself, bro. A huge chunk of this book is just like, I don't know, where is this going, bro? I just don't get it. And this is a pretty chunky book. Filler, it's nonsense. The Wind Up Bird Chronicle. What is this? I don't it's like incomplete ideas. Ideas that don't go to fruition. They don't bloom. They're just ideas, cutesy ideas here and there. It's just so random. This is usual Murakami. He writes well about solitude and about music and about having a good drink here and there and just being by yourself and being not melancholic, but not even nostalgic, but just being a bit down. And it's raining. There's jazz playing somewhere or some other depressing tune, and maybe you're reading a book. He does that well, but a lot of this book is just like the characters, the plot, where it goes. I just don't get it. I don't understand why people are so fascinated with this writer. I mean, God, he has great talent, of course, and he does pretty well in some books, like Norwegian Wood. But it's Jesus. I mean, this guy has cafes and other bookshops named after him, and people just obsess. And I don't get it. I don't understand why you so desperate. Just because you connected with something in his book, you're so desperate to be acknowledged. This is juvenile thinking, okay? You have to have some dignity. You have to respect yourself, all right? This is no way to behave, all right? Anyway, let's go back to the book. I mean, there's not a lot to say here. I mean, this is I don't know. There's a lot of excess here. A lot of baggage that doesn't belong here. The plot is jumbled. The characters are weird, but not in a good way. Sure, there are good aspects here that could have been done better. Of course, this is not an awful book, otherwise I would have just trashed it completely. Of course. But It's so hard to explain it. All right. As a reader and as a writer, you just know there's an insight. Okay, there's an instinct that tells you immediately what is going on here. If you've read enough books, this will not leave a mark on you. It just won't. That's just how it is, okay? But that's just my opinion. And a lot of people seem to not only love these books and this author, but they seem to worship this book and this author and many of his other books. And that confuses me. There's nothing really to say that hasn't been said already. Uh, when I started reading him, there was an excitement. I mean, I thought this was this was supposed to be somebody that would just capture me with his writing, and in part, he has little gold nuggets here and there. Of course, he's no chump. Of course, he's not. He has a little light of something special in him, but it's like, listen, whoever the editor was, right? He or she should have just sat down and said, listen, this is a jumbled mess of strange and boring and a little bit of mystery here. All right, maybe you should rewrite. Okay, 'cause this is, I don't know, bro. This book just goes on and on and on, and it's just like, listen, you need to cut some of this out. And I'm not trying to beat this guy. I just don't find his writing that satisfying. Okay, his writing isn't satisfying to me. Some of it is. Some of it is. He has these little moments that just catch you off guard, and you're like, yeah, that's how the whole book should have been. That's how all books should be. You can't just write whatever comes to mind and you think this is genius, because it's not. It's just a lot of trivia, a lot of it's like a balloon. It just keeps going, getting more bloated and bloated. But there's no substance, no essence, really. Advice to writers: write fewer pages and make them better. Polish them to excellence, to the best of your abilities. Don't just pump out book after book, like hundreds and hundreds of pages of just random ideas that just kill the flow of this book. Just work to your pace and just listen. You don't have to write ten pages a day. Just write 1 or 2 pages that are compact and wonderful. That's what you can do. That's what you have to do as a writer. You can't just pump out everything that comes to mind. You can't do that. And especially if you don't work on the text afterwards and you just leave it as it came to you. Okay, not a lot of writers can have that talent to just write whatever and make it interesting. It just can't be done, right? Strive for better books. Strive for better books. That's all you have to do, because some books, they just have this presentation, this outer shell that is, it's glossy and glowing and spectacular, but once you go in, it just falls short, right? And of course, there are better books out there. Keep on reading and you will find one that will knock you off your socks.